So what is the typical features offered by Git Stash? I mean, in this video, we're going to take a look into that. So first of all, there is a sample file. This is example file for a Java class. So I'm already on a main branch. So I'm just going to change it to a feature branch just to demonstrate this. So the idea is I'm working on a feature branch. I modify a file. So now I have a change on this file. So typically what happens is when there is a feature you're working on and you need to immediately switch to a fix or a hot fix branch where you need to put a production fix, you typically go and create a new branch from the main, which I already done. So when you try to check out, you have you have a file which is already you're working on, which you need to preserve so that you don't lose any work. I mean, in this case, I'm just showing one file, but it could be multiple files across the project. So this is a common situation that you encounter in actual development. So what is the solution to this? So you could use a hotfix branch, discard the current solution, or you could stash the current changes. The only way you could do it is if you use the stash feature. So the best way to do it is you just go and select Git and use the Git stash changes, and you could list feature 1. Okay, so and you can create a stash. So now that change is preserved to the stash, and if you could go here, I think you could see that the stash has the changes, and here you would see the changes that is done on the files. I mean, here it is shown only one file, but it could be multiple files. Now you can easily go and switch to a hotfix branch and start working on your hotfix. So this doesn't have the changes that you've done in the previous feature, and you can start working on the actual fixes that you need to work on using the fixes. And once you're done with the fixes and this hotfix is merged to the main branch, you can go again, check out your feature 1 and start working from where you left off. The best way to do it is just take the stash that you want to apply and you apply the files that you already worked upon, and if you see there is a changes incoming from the stash. So this is the way you could do the stash unstash of the changes. Similarly, I would like to show you how shelf work. In IntelliJ there is a feature of shelf. So basically what it does is you could move particular files. So here I have only one file, but if you want to shelve this file to preserve the changes, you can use this shelf file. Okay, so that will be preserved in your shelf. So there are two ways, I mean, to achieve it. Stash will stash all the files that you have in the commit. So if you have 10 files, the stash will stash all the 10 files into the stash. That is the key difference. And shelf is basically you can pick the files that you want to shelf. So when you want to unshelf, you can unshelf the specific files into the change list, and it comes back right where it belongs, and you can start working on it. For the sake of this demonstration, I'm keeping it very minimal with a single file, but it could be done in multiple files. And also there is another cool feature in IntelliJ that you should be using in a day-to-day basis. That's about the new change list. So when you have multiple files and you want to classify the changes into multiple change lists, for example, if you're working on feature and you can create a change list, those files will be classified and you could move that file into the change list. So in this way you can isolate multiple features changes related to those files. For example, if you had another file which you have changed and you it is belonging to feature 2, you could create another feature change list and move the file to that specific feature. So in that way you can move around. For example, if I try to create a new class for feature 2, right? So now this is regarding the feature 2. I go here and I could see that changes are there. The ex1 I will move it to feature 1, this belongs to, and feature 2 changes I'll move to feature change list. And any changes that I make, for example, if I create a new another class which is a common class, which common file, right, and add it to the change list, the common file will be like here in the changes, and the feature 1 change list will have the changes related to feature 1 and feature 2. So in this way you could parallelly work on multiple features and isolate the files into different change list. So this is a cool feature that we could make use of it. And you want to commit, you can select the specific file and write a message and commit the feature. And if you want to commit the feature 1, you can select the change list. Here it, for simplicity, we just have one file. If you have 10 files, this change list will pick all the 10 files and you could commit it against it. Similarly, if you want to commit feature 2, you could select the change list and all the files related to that change list will be pushed and committed. So this is another cool feature that you could use in IntelliJ IDEA plugin. So this is how I end the video. If you like it, please like and subscribe. Thank you.